Hi guys. Right, I'm just going to go with the flow with this one. I'm going to just check the volume. Okay, so that's good. Right. I hope I'm sitting all right. I didn't know whether to sit in my wheelchair, or sit on the bed. But I'll go with sitting on the bed for now. Right. There's been like quite a few developments, so I thought I'd come back and do a little update on my crazy life. A couple of months ago I had an anaphylactic shock reaction after taking flucloxacillin for a skin infection I had. I think it was a heel in my heel at the time. There was like an infection brewing. Took flucloxacillin before, numerous times I've taken it in the past, and I took it within 2 or 3 minutes. I was having a major reaction. Like my whole body went beetroot red and swelled up massively, as if I'm not swollen enough already. My son actually made a joke of it as he got here and said, "Mum, crikey, you're more swollen up than I've ever seen you." And obviously it was closing up in my throat, around my face. It was a pretty awful experience. I was very lucky that my son's friend Ryan was visiting at the time. Otherwise I'd have been on my own, and I don't think I'd have been able to get help because I couldn't talk. I was panicking, really badly panicking. So he phoned an ambulance for me and phoned my son for me, and then I was like on the phone to my mum saying, I need you, I can't breathe." And yeah, so Mum got here at the same time as the ambulance got here. 3 ambulances got here actually. And I'm very grateful that I was okay, that, you know, they got me sorted and that. Well, I've been now, I didn't update about that too much because obviously it was just a very extreme thing that happened out of the blue. It's not as such related to my rheumatoid disease, although it is, because it's the fact that I'm immune suppressed. I keep getting infections, then I have to keep taking antibiotics. I'm on antibiotics more time in the year than I'm not on antibiotics, and I have been like that for a good 5 years now, maybe 6 years, because I had the gallbladder problem. I was on antibiotics a lot for that. So yeah, I'm always on antibiotics, so becoming allergic to penicillin is quite a scary thing, especially when I went into full anaphylactic shock. There wasn't just an allergic reaction like I have when I go in the sun. I start swelling up and going red, but that's not as extreme as this was. This was crazy, really crazy. It scared the hell out of me. It scared the hell out of my mum as well. My mum walked in and she was like, to see me. My eyes were completely closed, like I couldn't open my eyes properly or anything. You know, and to see my mum be scared. Like, my mum's been with me throughout everything in my life, all of my medical treatments. My mum has been there. Giving birth, I've given birth 4 times without pain relief, and I wholeheartedly credit that to my mum and my mum's strength of character that gets me through these bad times. I've always needed my mum with me. She's a very strong person, and I take my strength from her when I'm not well, when I know that I really need help. And she's been there a lot herself. She's had a lot of health issues throughout her life. She really does understand. So anyway, there's that happened, and on Wednesday this week I went to the city hospital. Say hello, Coco. I went to the city hospital. Hi, Coco. To see the allergist at the allergy clinic to work out what I'm allergic to and what I'm not. I don't know if you can actually see now. I think I did take pictures actually. I might insert some pictures. But they basically stabbed me with loads of different allergens, and then pricked my skin and waited to see what reaction I had. And I'm allergic to dust, grass, a little bit of shrubs, cats, and mould, and I am, and then they had to go transdermal, which is like, again, they injected me under the skin with the flucloxacillin to see what happened if I am actually allergic to the penicillin or the other ingredients in the drug. Well, they done that, and immediately it got a reaction, and the reaction came up as a number 10, which is like the worst you can get in the size of reactions. Yes, I am allergic to it, and yes, I need to go back in 2 weeks' time for further testing to make sure I'm not allergic to all of the other penicillins, which, oh God, touch wood, I'm not, because, you know, I am on antibiotics right now. I've been on antibiotics for the past 3 weeks. I've just been given a prescription of doxycycline for the next 2 weeks. That'll be 3 weeks on doxy and 2 weeks on erythromycin. You know, and these are just minor, like, little infections that keep brewing away. But at one point I got so poorly with it that I really felt like I was, like I had maybe sepsis setting in. It felt like the infection was in my blood. I was really poorly. I couldn't stand up without feeling like I was going to collapse. But because it wasn't my lungs, I sort of don't go and get help, because I don't know, I just don't like making a fuss. And because it's not my lungs, I think, oh well, I'll survive. Coffee break. But I've just seen in one of the RA groups on Facebook, a dear lady, bless her soul, has lost her husband to RA, and constant infections, sepsis setting in. And I read that and burst into tears, because that's what's going on with me. Yes, it's bloody scary, and to see that someone else has passed away because of it, I think, God, you know, not only am I very, very deeply saddened for this family who have lost their husband, father, grandfather way before his time, but obviously I have to think about my own family circumstances as well, like talking about the grandchildren and stuff like that. I haven't even had grandchildren yet. My children aren't even fully grown up yet, all of them. And because I don't like to go and get help, I think at some point it's going to get dangerous. I put off calling help. Like, only with the anaphylactic shock reaction did I go, I need an ambulance now. I knew I needed an ambulance right there and then. But I mean, it takes something like that extreme for me to actually go to the hospital, whereas other people will go and sort of say every time that they're feeling that bad. You know, people go for pain relief, which I've never gone and said I need pain relief, even though I'm in agony all the time. And there are times where I've thought, God, I could really do something stronger now. It just doesn't occur to me to go to the hospital. But I think at the same time, the hospital are now not getting the right impression of how ill I am all the time, because they assume that if I'm not at the hospital for things, that I must be okay. Anyway, back to the allergy clinic. The allergist was great, to be honest, and at Cambridge in Addenbrooke's, I mean, it's a great hospital anyway. I really buggered myself up because I took my walking sticks instead of the wheelchair, and I'm pretty much bound to the wheelchair now anyway. Walking sticks tend to be more problem than they're worth. They really hurt, really bloody hurt. I caused myself a lot of upper body pain to use them, and my hands cripple up really badly, very quickly. Like I can barely walk any further than I can walk anyway with them. And I forgot the distance from the car park to the hospital. Of course, I got a wheelchair once I got into the hospital, but I didn't think about it, and obviously I've really hurt myself doing that. And then, so I'll be going back in 2 weeks and finding out more about other drugs, whether or not I'm going to get any more allergic reactions, and getting a prescription for a medical ID alert bracelet, which I probably should have anyway. What else has happened? And then I've been to the doctors again. As I say, I'm going into 5 weeks of doxycycline. We've got rituximab infusions are coming up on the 23rd of August and the 6th of September. Sorry. I've got to get better from these infections, like the skin infections and things like that. I've got to get better from that before the infusions, otherwise I won't be allowed them, will I? And I've got to hope and pray that they've put me up a bit on the methotrexate to a bit higher dose, which is scary. And I've just got to really hope and pray that this rituximab infusion works this time, because it definitely hasn't the last time. I mean, if I was to be getting benefit off of this drug, I would not be as big as I am. I would still not be on steroids like I am. Talking of steroids, I've nared my facial hair. Can you tell? It actually makes a massive difference. I really didn't realise how bad it was, because I can't really see very well and I don't look in the mirror much. Because it scares me. So, yeah, I nared my facial hair. I was going to do it on camera for you guys to, like, be supportive to others going through it. But you know what? I thought I really can't embarrass myself that far. Yeah, anyway. What else did I want to tell you people? I can't remember. It's the summer holidays, so I've got the younger two at home, which is lovely. I love having them at home. People always say to me, oh my God, how can you cope with 6 weeks of them off? And that, but I love having my children around me. I really, I treasure every minute. I suppose in our circumstances, you really know what is worthy and what is not. You know, I see people that stress about things that aren't important, or bring stress into their own love drama, lovers, you know, and I just think, why would you want to make things harder? Speaking of stress, my blood pressure has been like 159 over, it's weird, 159 over 69. Like 69 on the bottom is a good measurement, but 159 is a really high measurement. The doctor's called me back a couple of times to have it done, checked again, and then he's going to call me in a week or two to discuss it. It doesn't surprise me, I've not been feeling well, so I've known that sort of, I felt like my blood pressure was up anyway, and dropping at times as well. Like a bit haywire really. I've been really haywire with these infections. They feel like they're brewing around my body, but not quite. Like, my lungs feel bad, but they're not attacking my lungs yet. Yeah, I say yet, because we know that, you know, when your lungs are your weakness, that's what it's going to get to in the end, innit? Anyway, touch wood, the doxy will get on top of it. It's a good antibiotic. I know that it has, you know, I feel like I'm going nowhere with this disease path at the moment. Treatments aren't working. Half of the rheumatology team at my hospital have left or are leaving. My last appointment with my rheumatologist, now I've said a lot of good things about this rheumatology department all over the internet. I've really praised them to high heaven. They were great. Absolutely fantastic. Several members of staff with the same diseases as what we've got, which makes the world of difference, having someone walking in there and going, this hurts, and having someone look back at you and say, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry you're going, and they know what you're feeling. There's no feeling of, I can't get it across to her. She knew because she's got it herself, you know. But my rheumatologist at my last appointment, and look, right, I've got thousands of pictures of me swollen, yeah. I have to take pictures all the time, because for some reason they don't seem to just take my word for it. If you say, like, I was swollen here, and I was swollen here, I'm swelling there, I'm swelling here. They don't just take your word for it, you have to be swollen right there and then when they're touching you. So I take a lot of pictures. Now, she said to me, you've got no signs of RA swelling at the moment. The rituximab's working. You've got a dash score of something stupid, like basically saying that I'm in remission, yeah? I've never been in remission. I've never even come close to a remission in the whole time I've had RA. I've never not had swelling. just these joints alone, like she gave me a 0 joint swelling count, yeah? Just these joints alone, I have a constant 8 swollen joints. They are never ever not swollen. Sometimes they're more swollen. Just wriggling them like that makes them swell here. Do you know what I mean? My right knee is often swollen, like, and it gets worse and worse. Both knees go. My right ankle is constantly swelling, although some of that I do think is like pitting edema, possibly signs of heart issues as well. But there's also the RA in there. You can see the RA in there, you know, and I think it's doing bone damage in there. They say about my spine, but my spine actually swells up. My lower spine and my cervical spine swell up all the time. I have lumps sticking out of my neck that do not look normal at all. That's swelling. Of course it's swelling. It's not anything else. I've got lumpy swellingness coming out of my joints. That's swelling. And it really annoyed me. The fact that I've then said to her, I've phoned her back and I've said, look, I don't agree with what you've said. I don't believe that you're listening to me at all. I'm still in severe pain. I am still having regular RA swelling. In fact, constant RA swelling. I'm not even down off of 15 milligrams of prednisolone. And I've had loads. On that appointment, she gave me a steroid shot, a depomedrone shot, 120 milligrams, that's right. She gave me that. Why would she give me that if I had no swelling? Why would you give a steroid injection to someone if they weren't still suffering? She wanted to tick a box, I believe. They've never ticked any boxes with me, unfortunately. Nothing has worked. She wanted to tick a box for some reason, and now I find out that she's leaving. And she also had someone she was a student with her as well. So I believe she was just trying to get the right boxes ticked, like to carry on the funding and that as well. But like, it's not working. I'm in pain. This has been a year since they took me off Enbrel, which was the only thing that ever did benefit me at all. I said to her, can't I go back on Enbrel because it actually helped? And she was like, no, you can't get funding for that because you failed Enbrel. I said, Enbrel didn't fail, my lungs failed, and you took me off Enbrel because my lungs failed. But for RA purposes, it's the only one that's had any benefit on me. And I'd rather have some mobility back. I'd rather be able to lose some of this weight. Because at the moment, the weight itself is just disabling in its own right. And no, it's not because I fucking eat too much, excuse me. No, it's not because I eat too much. It's because I'm on steroids. High doses of steroids. It balloons me up. The swelling itself also balloons me up. People don't even understand that. But like most of my joints, when they're swollen, are like 3 times the size of what they are when they're not swollen. You know, I can wear one outfit at one part of the day and then it'll be too tight at another part of the day because I've swollen up. My shoes, you know, I'm actually like a size different on each foot because my right foot swells up more than my left foot ever does. That's not, I'm stuck in the wheelchair, I'm bedbound most of the time. I've been ill constantly with infections. This isn't worth living at the moment, apart from for my children. You know, I'm touching wood. I'm sort of lucky that my lungs have been plateauing out, and I've sort of sat steady for the last year really with my lungs. I've not gone downhill any worse, but I'm not getting any better either. Anyway, but this is the update. This is, you know, this is where I'm at the moment. And we've got a lot of other things going on as well. My doctor, my wonderful new GP that I've been seeing, has just referred me to the pain clinic, which I think after 5 years in chronic severe pain, you know, well, I've had, in reality, I've had most of my life in pain with my back, but I've always sort of carried on through my back pain until now. And it's really disabling me. They've doubled up my gabapentin, which I believe helps my back, but the spasms are still occurring, which is really quite bad. I've got a feeling like my spine is compressing on itself whenever I stand up. Within like minutes of standing up, it feels like I need to stop and sit down quickly. It's not sciatic because it's not going down my legs or anything like that. It's just shooting across my back, spasms. So we'll see how that goes. What else? Okay, I knew there was a bit I was forgetting to tell you about. Also, on the 31st of July, I'm going to the hospital to pick up the machinery to have a sleep study test done on me because they think I might have sleep apnea. The respiratory team and that came out to see me, and I explained what was going on with my oxygen levels keep dropping at night time and feeling suffocated and waking up with a start and being like I can't breathe. And they think that might be sleep apnea, which would, like, looking into it, probably answer quite a lot of questions going on in my life at the moment. So I'll be interested to see the results of the sleep study, and I will let you know how that goes. I thought I'd just let you know that that's another thing that's on board at the moment. I'm ending up with quite a lot of extra clinics and consultants and that to deal with, but we're actually getting somewhere now, I feel. I've asked that I want an MRI really on my back as well, because I'm really worried about this with my back and what's going on. It feels like it's something really bad's going to happen with my back, so hopefully the pain clinic will be able to refer me for the MRI, apparently. Yeah, because everybody wants to ignore my back because apparently the lower spine can't be rheumatology. So fair enough, right, pain clinic might do it. The sleep apnea, I mean, maybe if I'm found to have that, then I can have a bit of a better quality of life if they give me a CPAP machine, you know. At the moment, I'm struggling day to day all the time, and that's probably due to lack of oxygen. Also, it could be what's influencing my blood pressure. My pulse is constantly tachycardic. I'm pretty sure if I'm treated correctly for numerous things that are being sort of left aside at the moment, I think that I might have a better quality of life. Well, I hope so anyway. Anyway, thank you for listening. I think that's about it for now. I mean, I've probably got more to tell you. I'll be having a lung x-ray in September and seeing my pulmonary consultant then. See where we go from there. It'll be interesting to see what the methotrexate has done, if anything. But just keep me in your thoughts and prayers, because I feel I need them at the moment. It feels a little bit like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not asking for a miraculous cure or anything like that, but I would like to at least have a little bit of mobility for whatever life I've got left. It's coming up to my 40th birthday. I'd love to be able to celebrate that, and they've gone and put my infusion the day before my 40th birthday, so, and I can't really say no, like, I don't want to do it, but so I know I'm going to feel pretty rotten for my birthday as well. And that was quite important to me. I was quite excited by the fact that I'm getting to 40 and that it might be my last big one to actually celebrate. Not that I can celebrate on the medications I'm on. No drinkies for me. Maybe a little whiskey. A little medicinal one, please, for my birthday. Anyway. It's not all morbid, there's some good stuff going on. I'm glad I've got the referral to the pain clinic. I'm glad that I at least know now that I'm allergic to this drug, because before I didn't know what I was allergic to, what had caused the allergic reaction. I was pretty scared that that was going to keep happening without my not, like, expecting it. Now I know that if that happens, I know what to do and I know how to get help, you know. I've been having regular daily care every morning from social services. Have kindly agreed to giving me some care. That's been very helpful. I feel much more dignity in myself now, because I'm not having to ask my son to help me get my boob in and out my bra, and you know what I mean. It's, you know, he cares it for me and he looks after me. He'd do anything for me really, but like, it's not really what I want to be asking my children to have to help me with. give a big shout out to all my children who have in their own ways done numerous things to stand behind me, help their brothers and sisters. I love them all very much, and that's why I'm here. So it's been good chatting with you guys. I love watching all of your videos out there. Anyone who's watching me who knows that I watch them, thank you for your input into my daily life. You make me smile. Much love, everybody. Breathe easy, folks. I'll see you again soon.